Hello people, welcome back to the Culture Main YouTube channel, or welcome for the first time if you're here just for the spoiler hype. Preview season is officially upon us, and Equinox was kind enough to send me one of the new cards from the upcoming Trial by Frost set to showcase to y'all. And not just that, they even went as far as making sure that it would be a Bravos card, because they know we're about the Bravos hype on this channel. Now, did I secretly hope for Gold, who is Kojo's boyfriend in the lore? Yes, I can't lie. But hey, now a couple of disclaimers. If you're just here for the card, go and skip ahead, take a screenshot, post it to your Discords, and never visit my channel again. That's fine. But if you'd like to hear my thoughts on this card, feel free to stick around. Also, if we're judging the cards from a competitive standpoint, you'll find that almost all the new cards are disappointments, simply because of the nature of our very high standard of competitive evaluation. That's normal. Across the entire set, only a handful of cards will be competitively interesting, and that's fine. But as a result, when previewing cards, we should always try to keep an open mind and stay positive, because otherwise you just kill a hype by going, this is too expensive, or this doesn't fit in any known archetype, or we already have this but better, or but cheaper for every single card that you see. So I'll try to stay positive. Also keep in mind that this is an official Equinox event, so I have a certain obligation to support them and hype up the set. And I'm trying, but see for yourself. Here's our card. Bravos Rescuer is the name of the card. She's a Bravos character for 3 from hand and 3 from reserve. Now, first of all, gorgeous, all right? And right out of the gate, that's an interesting cost, because you know what that means. 3 from hand means it's first turn playable. This is not a finisher or a niche playing piece for the late game. This is a main performer. Now, there is a big problem with that though. The stats. 144 is the stat line, and if you think about it, that's not really what you want to see here. 233 or any variation thereof would have gone incredibly hard on turn 1, but 144 means that you don't beat anything on turn 1. You trade with everything, because they win in forest. So if we're talking turn 1 playability, that is a big problem. You'll probably end up losing the first round 1-2 most of the time if your opponent has 2 plays. On the bright side, 4 in 2 stats is kind of beefy, not gonna lie. Against a faction like Lyra, you will get into situations where this hard counters something. For example, this beats Esmeralda, fair and square. It beats Tiny Jin, it beats the Sandman, kind of, and a lot of other characters that have 1 in forest, so that's good. Even better, if you're in a terrain where forest doesn't matter, this is simply a Haven Warrior. And that's a card that's actually being played seriously, even though it has no text. So the stat line is a mixed bag, but it's not all bad. Keep in mind that this is the common version of the card, so these 4s are actually kind of voluminous. Now, what about the text box? Well, let me put it this way. The text is in thin, italicized words, if you know what I mean. You hate to see it. But, guys, I must inform you that their ranks will be composed of seasoned Argonauts, ready to face the perils of the unknown, all right? So that's good. Apart from that, not much else here. Again, this feels like a variation of Haven Warrior, which is actually played because it has beefy stats, but as opposed to a simple Haven Warrior, who is not, by the way, a seasoned Argonaut and is not ready to face the perils of the unknown, our girl, Bravos Rescuer, actually has a support ability. And what is it? Well, its target character loses fleeting. Now, I won't lie, folks. Is that low-key one of the weakest effects in the game? Yeah. But it's a support ability, and it's for free. Bravos has had this once already on the rare out-of-faction Lady of the Lake, which I've seen people play occasionally, but more importantly, this support ability gives us a clear indication of which archetype this card wants to go in. Because now it suddenly looks like a variant of Bravos Vanguard. Low-key better stats, but in exchange, the Unfleet is on the support ability instead of the main enters the battlefield effect. Now, making something lose fleeting is a gimmick that's used mainly in strategies around seasoned characters, right? Because if your Bravos Blade Dancer is currently a 5/5/5 or a 6/6/6, making it return to the reserve with all those counters one more time instead of the discard is extremely valuable because the character's so cheap. So you can actually see this being played in Basira decks. The fact that it's 3 mana to play hurts, of course, but honestly, it does look like sort of a replacement for Haven Warrior, which Basira typically plays as a rare, so this would be a very lucrative downgrade if you can make it work, getting new rare slots because you're playing this common instead of the rare Haven Warrior, and even giving you Unfleet from the reserve for free, which honestly sounds not too bad at all, right? But the best is yet to come, folks. This was obviously only the common version of the card. We still have our rare and an out of faction to look at. And boy, look at this artwork upgrade. She has woken up. There is a guy. Our girl is wearing a different shirt. Seriously though, I love the art. This may be lost on some of you, but being an artist myself, I can appreciate the way the sun lights up that snowy terrain in the background. It's beautiful. But the Kojo main! What about the effects? I get it. First of all, the stats go down. You hate to see it. But honestly, 133 is not much worse than 144, so I don't mind that. What about the text box? When it enters the battlefield, you may target another fleeting character. It gains 2 boosts. Now folks, what do we think about that? I know what you'll say. But the Kojo main, that is so bad. These boosts will only count once even if they're on a seasoned character because it's fleeting. I don't care. Have you heard about unfleeting something with Helping Hand for 1 mana? And besides, that's still 2 boosts, alright? Chiron, target character gains 1 boost. Haven Warrior as a rare support ability, the next character gains 1 boost. Isun Boshi support ability, the next character gains 1 boost. We're not about that, people. Putting 2 boosts on something, plus an additional one from Basira's hero power as an extra on top of your 3-drop character, that's no joke. That is a lot of power to put on the board, and it doesn't even trigger only from hand or anything like that. Now, the requirement that the target has to be fleeting, not so bad if you ask me. Because on one hand, half of the characters you play will enter fleeting, so what are you complaining about? And also, even if you plan to unfleet them with Helping Hand, you can just sequence it to do both, no problem. Or you can have another Bravos Rescuer in your reserve from before, and then those girls combo off each other with the support ability. All in all, I really feel like this card may have a future, in Basira especially, but also if you run a more aggressive build of Kojo, because 2 additional boosts on your Bravos Tracer or from reserve Ratatosker, that's no joke, people. I'm hyped to play this rare, I can tell you that much. Now the final question is, which other faction gets our girl? And I think this would have been pretty cool in Izmir to play, because Afanas would like that, right? But who are we kidding? That deck has no rare slots to spare. So our out of faction goes to Axiom. It's a copy of the Bravos Common, so without the ETB effect, which is a shame, but I feel like Axiom will play this for the support ability anyway. You resupply this off of your subhash or your trace or whatever else triggers you have. Could be useful. Honestly, I don't think there are too many Axiom characters you'd like to unfleet in Beyond the Gates. But who knows, there might be a nice fit for this in Trial by Frost, so don't sleep on this. Same goes for the Bravos versions too. We've been talking about this only in terms of Beyond the Gates cards. But in all honesty, you only need 1 new card from Trial by Frost to play well with this unfleet effect, and suddenly the common Bravos Rescuer absolutely pops off. Same thing with the rare, 1 card like Bravos Tracer that always enters fleeting, and suddenly you're not worrying about having targets for your boosts at all. Things are looking spicy. So there you have it, people. Bravos Rescuer, my preview card from the upcoming set. If you'd like the showcase, don't forget to support the channel and also support the game by checking out the new expansion once it releases. Also, Bravos Rescuer is a character, and you know what that means? Uniques. I've been thinking about possible uniques for this card, and I feel like there's a lot of potential. Let me know in the comments what kinds of variations to the base card you'd like to pull as a unique. Personally, I would like to see a more even stat line that would really boost the turn 1 potential of the card, but I'm excited to hear what you have in store for me in the comment section below. And as always, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!